You know, it's funny. I asked yesterday how Nintendo's business practices aren't just the same and haven't just been the same for the last 40 years. And the guy tells me, well, I buy every game I feel like on every console I want to because I like the games and they work and I like playing them, so why are you sweating it? It's like, but I just bought Medieval Total War for my phone again. That's my third or fourth time purchasing it. That wasn't the question I asked. The question I asked is how every Metroid game isn't just the first Metroid, and why people are satisfied with that. The first Metroid wasn't a good game. Super Metroid wasn't a good game. Metroid Prime wasn't a good game. The examples of games that he likes because they're good and they play consistently were Pokemon and Skyrim. Shit games for little babies. And so I just ask us to ask again. Ask the question of ourselves. Why do we like the shit we like? And why do we keep letting these mega corporations profit off it? And so anyway, a guy asks me why I'm sweating it, which is ironic, sitting in this hot tent all day because I don't feel like being in public around human beings. Well, I'm not sweating it, but I would ask you, why are you sweating so much carrying all that water uphill for Nintendo? We can move into part 2 here if you want. I was reading this morning, an exec in Nintendo was recently let go from their marketing team. I think that's what happened. I could be wrong, but I read an article interviewing at least one marketing exec for Nintendo, and basically what he says is if you guys don't like their business practices, stop pre-ordering. Nintendo hit their most sold or fastest sold consoles ever with the Switch 2 from pre-orders and the height of all the backlash. So if you want them to hear that backlash, what you need to stop doing is buying the shit before you've touched it. So now we can move into part 3 where I explain to you the only reason that you like Pokemon and Metroid is because it was bought for you as a gift once. Once upon a time you were too young to make your own money. All of the science about choice and about satisfaction indicate that the fewest choices you had in having a thing, the more satisfied you are with it. So if your mom bought you an SNES or an NES or a Game Boy, and the only games you had were either Pokemon or Metroid, and those are going to be your favorite thing because they're the only thing you had. That also means your biases make your opinions irrelevant. And so I'll just ask it again, like, I'm being bombarded with Metroid fanboys. Why does anyone think that game is good? I literally watched an hour video titled, Why Super Metroid is the Best Game Ever, and he spent the first 30 minutes shitting on the controls, and on the scheme, and on the story, and on the graphics, and everything about the game, and then he goes, no, really, it's the best in the series, and I'm just like, well, if the best in the series is that bad, there has to be a reason other than its mechanical greatness that people love it. It has to be the antithesis of Final Fantasy VI.